Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Leadership Podcast. We have no host of Jared Murr here today. You've got the three girls and Lem. Woo! That is our intro for today.
What
the
a
three
party.
girls and Lem. It is a party. It is a party. We're missing if you typically listen to this audio at like a volume 2 because, you know, our fearless host, Jared, is on it. You could probably turn it up to volume 5. Volume 6, you know.
Hey, maybe turn your speed down.
That's such a good point.
Get average with it for a sec. We're ready to
That
be
average
We're ready
speed.
to be really average.
Get average. Yeah. I hope we can do better for Jared than just be average today. But
We'll see what he has to say
we're
about
going
it.
to try and be an 8 out of 10.
Average speed means someone would value slowing down and pacing themselves, listening to what we're saying. So I think that's taken up a notch. Not that Jared doesn't have great things to say. He does.
Perspective.
I was
Perspective.
about to say,
you know.
perspective is really
All
everything.
about perspective. You know what they say,
Yeah.
Lem?
Yeah.
Also, Jared's just going to roast us for things. It sounds like we're roasting him this
Yeah.
entire time. Jared, you're great. You are awesome. We love you. What a powerful host that you are. But today we have a couple new things. Jess and I are helping to co-host this year, and we also have a guest with us, a guest among us, Megan Rhodes. Megan, you are actually our newest employee, right?
Yes, I am.
Close to a couple others, but I think the newest. Okay. What's been your favorite thing about Paradigm Shift so far? No pressure. No pressure.
So many things, but I love all the people that I work with. There's so many big personalities and there's so many like more little ones, but everybody's so unique and I just love it.
Megan just listens to me talk all day.
I love
She's
that.
like, I'm scared of you.
No.
That's amazing. I love it. Well, we will typically do segments, Megan. And so one that I actually would like to start with today is one of my favorites. Am I wrong?
Okay.
Let's hear that beat.
I thought Lem was... Okay, we're still working on that music, you know? We've
never podcasted
We're working on the
before.
timing. There we go. All right. Am I wrong, folks? Today here on the pod, I'm actually coming at you with this segment. Am I wrong on this? On my way into work today, you know, I have not historically had the best day today. Historically, because it's felt about 10 years long. And it didn't, you know, sometimes just the way it starts is the way it goes. That's just what it's been for me.
it really sets you up
How
for the
it
rest of the
started
day.
is how it's gone. So one of the ways it started, was my 2-year-old throwing a tantrum, pooping in my car, all these other things. Okay, we'll save that.
Not pooping in the car.
We've already talked about menstrual cycles on the pod. I feel like we should avoid the topic of the potty, but it feels like Lem could really resonate with me there for a moment.
Yeah, I pooped in the car.
I also
In the car the other day too.
Lim really resonates.
No, I also have a
More so
3-year-old.
of your
It
three.
does
Yeah,
resonate.
I was going to say more so of your 3-year-old, but hey, perspective. Take what you will out of that comment. But so I get him to daycare. All is well. Actually, all is not well. I'm already running late, thinking about other things. And I see his cop behind me. He's like been following me for like a mile now. And I'm thinking in my head, like, you can't pull me over after you keep following me for like so long. So I'm thinking I'm in the clear, but I'm still not speeding. I'm not I'm not doing anything that is pull over worthy. You know, about to get on the highway, be on my way. Surely I'll be away from him. And then what do you know? See the little red lights. And I was like, well, all right, I'll pull over. This is obviously not for me. This can't be for me. I've done nothing wrong. It was for me. So I pull over.
Right.
In fact, he comes up to my window. First of all, hey, do you have your license and registration? I was like, I give him my insurance, which is actually not your registration, and I can't find my license. I'm like,
You have the app?
I'm like, yes, he wouldn't take it.
What?
Yes, he was like, well, I need to scan it. I was like, well, you can take my phone. Well, I did find it. Don't be worried. I'd never found my registration, but he said he looked me up, so that was fine. But I did have my license. I gave to him. Anyway, I got pulled over because my tags were like 3 months expired. I didn't even know that.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a couple things of wondering, am I wrong? Number one, why don't they notify you that your tags are expired? This drives me up a
I think they
wall.
do.
So true.
So if they do, I have not been notified.
Where is it?
Where is it?
I've got a notification in the mail.
In the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've got no notifications. I called my husband to confirm while I'm sitting here with this cop, as if he cared. He was like, I'm writing your, do what you want. But
Yeah.
Your tags are expired, so I don't care. But so I'm thinking to myself, okay, surely like maybe this will be like a warning. No, it's $170 fine for your tags being expired, even though I never even got notified that they were expired. And I have to pay extra for the expired tags to not be.
Yeah.
So I'm at like a $250 bill here.
Well, if you get them fixed and then take it to the office at
Sure.
the courthouse,
Yeah, they told me
will
that.
they will excuse it.
No, he said I would still pay a $65 admin fee. He said, "Now don't worry before you freak out about the 170," which I was not freaking out, sir. I had to really
Don't freak out, woman.
I had to really keep myself.
That's all
like,
I heard.
If you only knew how I could freak out right now.
Woman.
I was like, wow, that makes me want to freak out on you. So that's another am I wrong, but for a different day. However, he said, bring this, do all the things you just said, Jess, and then don't worry, they'll mark it down to a $65 admin fee.
Right. Got it.
What's even the point? No, then I'm just going to pay the other $60 already and just be on my way. Now I have to go all the way to some deep part of Broken Arrow, go give them all the little things just to get $60 off this other ticket that I have.
You know,
I was annoyed at multiple things. One, like if you're going to give me a ticket just to get it excused, why give me the ticket? Number one. And number two, I was never informed about these tags.
you know, and it really just depends who you are because, you know, if you know somebody, they'll let you off. But
I didn't know this. I didn't
didn't
read this
know.
guy in my life.
I was literally in the car with someone one time and their father was a cop and their
Well.
tag was expired for over a year. And their dad was a cop and they were like,
They got out of it.
Just get that fixed. You have a good night.
The system. The system is unjust.
That's your am I wrong is all of that is
I
unjust.
know I'm not wrong that the system is unjust. I know that.
I have also never received a notification for my tag being expired.
I'm halfway annoyed at the ticket. I'm more annoyed that I got a ticket and never even been notified.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
You're not wrong. Hey.
I think there should be in that scenario at least like a, 2 strikes you're out. Give
Like
you a
I've never
warning.
been pulled over for this before. Ever.
Yeah,
Not
I
once
think
in my whole
you
life.
should have just got a warning. I think that's
Stupid.
yeah.
No, he was looking. I really think at the end of the day, he was trying to meet his quota.
That's
You know,
how
I hear
seems.
it. We all get that's how it seems.
That's me every time
I'm
I
going
get
to
a
write you
ticket.
this ticket, but then I'll excuse it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You just have to do all this extra work to get yourself
I
to
wish
this
they would
random
just
courthouse.
I wish they would just lead with that. Hey, it's not a big deal. I've just got a quota. Here's your.
Honestly, maybe
be honest.
Maybe I would have respected
Yeah,
that
I
more.
get that. I get that.
Yeah. I got a ticket last week too. So
Yeah.
but hey, I'm used to it. I'm getting tickets
I was
left
gonna say, I
and
think
right.
yours might have been a little bit like the cop might have been saying, "Am I wrong?"
He's like, am I wrong here? And I'm like,
Were you speeding?
totally. And I commonly do, but I almost looked at him in the eye and said, please do not give me a ticket. And you know
You
what?
said that to him?
Am I wrong for has anyone ever done that? Have y'all ever
Been a woman,
asked
like really tried to tap into your
the
femininity?
tears maybe?
Yeah, honestly, if they're gonna pull the sexist card on us all the time, we might as well just milk it.
So true.
Yeah.
Milk
and
it for all it's
I
worth.
just want to be like,
But you didn't.
please. And I just get anxious about it. I'm like, but honestly, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose
So
if
wait,
you
you
just
did or you didn't?
get a ticket?
No, ask him to
I
not.
didn't.
Okay.
I
So
wanted.
you just took it.
I just went, okay.
Took it like a woman.
Wow, like an
'cause
empowered woman.
I was breaking the law
what she
and,
did.
I just took it. I also was going 15 over and he did write it for 15 over. You know how sometimes they're like,
sometimes, yeah.
I put it as 10 only. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, the
"Thanks so
difference
much."
in how much you have to pay in 10 versus 15
No, it's like
is
$100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
I was
Yeah.
going 15 over and I got a ticket a few weeks ago as well. I think they're cracking down.
Yeah.
It seems.
Yeah. Well, you know what? In honor of Women's Empowered Month, I think we're in March here.
Yep.
If not, we got to be close. We're not in March as we record this, but I think that you are all listening to this in the month of March. And you know what? If
Nope.
we are looking for women equality,
It's leap year.
it's
This
leap
is the
year.
29th right now.
So tomorrow,
Tomorrow's
in
March.
honor of tomorrow,
Leap year.
in honor of tomorrow, and leading as women, it does no good to be a woman anymore. Can't get out of a ticket. Got all this stuff up against you. Am I wrong? Just continues to be feeding that I'm not wrong, but this is the system and the way it works. So better luck to you next time. In a different note, and on a different note, we do have Megan here, who is our guest for today, and she's going to be talking to us about SMART goals. I can't wait to hear her take on this. Like I said, she is one of our newer employees, so I have not gotten to hear this fresh from her perspective before, but we're going to come straight at you, Megan, after the break.
Paradigm Shift team building resources are available on our online store. Medium Talk, Wordles, Leader versus Leader, Native American versus Leader, AI cards, and much more. You can buy your decks today at www.ps.company/store.
You know what? I'm so glad I didn't have to do that commercial.
Wow. Megan, great. We made our guests do the commercial.
She said-
let's give her a hand.
She said, I'll do it.
Thank you. I'll do it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Len. Man, he's slow on the music cues today, but somehow the applause is just ready to go.
I love it. Thank you for doing the commercial.
We forget we have
course,
music.
yes.
But.
I butcher it. I don't know if
We're going to
you've
need to start printing out like a run a show, and I just have all my buttons lined up.
I don't know if you've listened to any of the other episodes, but I butcher the commercial in every single episode.
It's only been like 2 times that she's like actually really butchered it, but I think they stuck with her. Like they really
And everyone
made
looks
an
at me, they're like,
impression.
and I choke most of the time, and it's just not good. It's bad.
Okay, so Megan, SMART goals. What are they? Tell us about them. What does it mean? Is it an acronym? How would you describe them?
Absolutely. So yes, it is an acronym. So I really like to think of SMART goals as a framework to just really set you up for success in achieving your goals. And a lot of times when I set my goals, I started as, well, I want to do this thing. But I think with using SMART goals, it turns it from I want to do this to like more action orientated, and it just really sets you up to go and get it.
Great.
So yeah, I'm just gonna start. The first letter of SMART is S. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's kind of crazy, but and that just stands for specific. So you want your goal to be very specific, just as specific as you can. So you would turn your I want into I'm gonna do this thing. So just drawing from a personal goal of mine, just for example, I wanted to learn ASL. So I turned that into, I want to learn ASL by June. Wait, let me back up a little bit. I'm going to learn ASL by June, and I want to confidently hold a conversation in American Sign Language. So you can really turn any of your goals into that, just as specific as you possibly can with it. So our next one is going to be measurable. That's the M. And you want to have a way to really track your progress. I think that sometimes when we're in the midst of going about our goals, making moves, we kind of just forget how far we've came. Like we forget that when we're in the midst of it, we started somewhere. So you need to make sure you have a starting point and you can track how far you've really come into actually getting on your goal.
Yep.
So, excuse me. The next one is achievable. And this is one I'm actually pretty passionate about. If you shoot for the moon and you land in the stars, that's not something that sits right with me. I want to land on the moon. So you want to make sure that your goal is something that you can actually really achieve. So I would say landing in the stars is better than not trying at all, but it's absolutely, you want to make sure that you set yourself up for success with that. Okay. So then you want it to be relevant to your life, or if it's a goal for your work, you want it to make sure that it like encompasses like the company, works with your goal, that type of thing. And the last one is time-based. You want to set yourself a realistic time frame, a deadline that you're going to say, okay, I am going to be here by, for example, mine June. I'm going to be here by June.
I love it. So taking that example, if you don't mind, a little bit further, you wanted to learn ASL by June. What month were you in when you decided that?
So this is very new. This is actually last week.
You are in it.
Yeah, this is right now.
Okay,
this is right
so
now.
June. All
Absolutely,
right.
yeah. June 2020, yes.
We're in it, folks.
Yes.
Wow, we are in it.
In the
Okay.
thick of it, yes.
So we're starting this process with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so that's the specific. You want to be able to use ASL completely in a full conversation, have a full conversation with it by June.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, love it. What are you doing to measure yourself on that?
So I joined an online class And I'm taking that right now. It just opened last week. That's why I started last week, because the class just opened last Monday. So I can really track my progress, just how far I've come in the class and taking the tests and that type of thing.
Okay, cool. Very easy. Yeah. Measurable. Makes
Can
sense.
I ask what inspired? Like, what got you to like really motivated to do that?
Honestly, I think that being able to have a whole conversation without any words spoken at all is kind of beautiful.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's really awesome. It's become really common too to start teaching ASL to babies, because they can communicate through ASL a lot quicker than they can verbally. So it's just a really cool thing that I want to be a part of.
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Lennon knows how to do more, please.
Oh,
Yes.
That's adorable.
I love that so
That's
much.
about it.
I think I love when babies go.
Yeah.
That's super
Mine does it really aggressive. He's like, he can say it now, so he verbally screams it even worse. But for a long time, yeah, he would get real aggressive with that one. But I love it because they don't verbally speak. But man, at like 18 months, he was like, water, water, water. Whatever that sign is. I'm trying to remember what that one is. Something with like your hand. Do you remember that one?
I don't know that
Water?
one.
No.
Yeah, I don't know that one
Yeah.
yet.
This is drink. This is sleep.
Thanks, Slim. Man. Beautiful. This is good job.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that one, but makes sense.
Okay, so we have measurable, we have specific. How about achievable? Like, what does achievable look like for you on a goal like this, specifically this example you're looking at?
Yeah, I think that is a really large time frame for me to be able to learn this, especially with ASL. It's kind of considered one that's easier to learn. You pick up on it a lot quicker. So otherwise, I would have given myself more time. But the class also is over in June. So I just think that'll be time for me to apply it in my real life, and then I'll have taken the class. So I think that's very achievable.
Yep. So achievable, in a sense, is I can actually get it done.
Yes, yeah.
Like the difference between, wow, as a CEO, I want to be a $10 million company. That's so cute. That's measurable, I guess. And I guess it's specific. But if it's not actually achievable, then we're kind of breaking down the framework there, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And I see achievable. If yours isn't achievable, then break it down even more so you can build those goals up and get to your ultimate big one. But you just have to start from somewhere.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, and then relevance. Jess kind of asked about this already. Like, what made this relevant to you? You kind of shared anything. Any other ways you would elaborate on how this will be relevant for kind of your life and your goals in the future?
Absolutely, yeah. I think I just want to be as inclusive as I possibly can. So I absolutely want to be able to communicate with people in the deaf community or in the hard of hearing community, and I think that this will absolutely allow me to do that.
I love that. That's awesome. And then time based. We've covered it. June. We are going to have Megan back on in June, and no pressure, but we're going to put you back to the test.
Putting it back in the schedule.
Lem and I will learn more than just please and good job.
Yeah.
The silent
and
episode.
cup or drink, whatever. Yeah, it'll be the silent podcast.
We're just
for that
signing over here.
Yeah. We could just quiz you and you do all these motions and we're like, great.
Yeah.
Just making some up.
Awesome.
Only our YouTube followers will see that one.
Yeah.
So I love it. So what about the rest of you guys? What are your thoughts on SMART goals? When's the first time? Are you familiar with them? Is this the first time you've heard the framework? What's kind of your knowledge base around them?
Well, I love it. I think it's very practical. I love how it breaks down what a goal looks like. For me, one of my SMART goals is I want to be able to work out 15 times a month. I guess that's recurring, right? Is that it kind of counts, right? It's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. So
I don't know, Megan. You're the judge. You're the expert.
Tell us.
Does that count?
I would expand on that to say for a year.
Okay.
Like every month for a year, I want to do that. Personally, that's
Just to
what
make
I
it
would
more
do.
specific.
That's
Yeah.
a great point. I would have
All
not
right.
even thought of that.
Nice.
So like for 6 months or like something
it's like
like
a
that.
second layer of
Yeah.
Absolutely.
being time-based.
Yeah. Cause like, did you actually achieve it? You know, when
I
is the
achieved it in
time up?
January. I'm not going to get it this month, but
Okay. So achievable.
Yeah.
Less.
it is achievable, but I didn't achieve it.
This definitely isn't my first time hearing the SMART goals acronym. I think Jared's probably actually the first person to ever.
Yeah.
And that was, way back in the day. But I think I wouldn't say I use this entire framework, on a consistent basis. I think Achievable is probably like the set that I go to the most. Like maybe that within time. Like I think, is this achievable in this amount of time is where I see myself setting goals the most just internally. Because I mean, time really does matter. And if you're setting yourself up, if you're not setting yourself up for success, like when you're having goals in the first place, then, you're probably not going to get very far in growth. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that if you really aren't setting achievable goals and you realize that they're not achievable, then you're really not going to get anywhere. So
I think the goal framework in general, but especially SMART goals, is difficult when you're an overachiever.
For sure.
I didn't mean to point at you, Lem.
I'm an overachiever, and it's very hard for me because I think I
Because you're
can
like,
do
it is achievable though. Like
It
I
is,
can
yeah.
do it. I know I can do it.
Yeah, and so are these other 10 things that I think are achievable too.
I resonate with that. We were talking about this in the office actually, like literally 30 minutes ago, because we
Yeah.
were talking about Cade doing 75 hard. And Cade was, roasting me. He was like, Jess, do you think you could do it? And I was like, I mean, yeah.
Like you could.
Like
do you want to?
If I was in the headspace and that was like important to me in that moment, then 100%, because I can do anything I set my mind to. But I mean, some people don't frame potential goals in that way. Like I'm just like, I mean, yeah, I could do it for sure.
Yeah. But I think there's also a desire element too. Like
Yeah.
especially for something like 75 hard.
Yeah.
Which for the people listening may not even know what 75 hard is. Great to cover on a SMART goals podcast.
It's a good one.
75 hard. Have you done it, Lim?
No, I
Okay.
don't think that's relevant to my life.
See, that's kind of where I'm at with it too. I was like, it's not really.
I did
in my
it.
wheelhouse.
I did it last year, but I guess some people call it 75 soft because I didn't do 2 45-minute workouts a day. I did one, God forbid, or I did one 1-hour workout is actually what I ended up doing. But with 75 hard, it's basically this regimen where for 75 days straight, you do 2 45-minute workouts in a day. You have to read 10 pages. I think it's drink 1 gallon of water, maintain and stick to like the same diet throughout the 75 days. And gosh, I think there's one more thing.
No
but,
drinking.
Yep. Yes. No alcohol.
Yeah.
Kind of like no vices, really. Some people are like, well, does this count?
If
If
it's
it's open to your interpretation.
It probably does count.
If you're asking, does this count?
It does.
It probably counts.
Just cut it out.
Yeah, it probably counts.
Well, and that's what people kind of do with 75 soft too. Like they will only drink on
Socially.
like special, like if there's like an event and like something's happening and like,
Yeah.
You're getting married.
Yeah.
yeah, like you're going to drink at your wedding probably.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic about that.
Something along those lines. So, if you are an overachiever, they don't really like the 75 soft framework. I was like, you can call it whatever you want, but I did all of these activities 75 days straight.
You actually made it?
And, yeah.
Nice.
and-
Didn't you have to restart a couple times?
No.
Okay.
But I did switch to the one workout.
Okay.
So that's why, some people
Gotcha.
call it soft. I'm like, whatever. I work
Sounds
out
hard to
every
me.
single day. Yeah. For an hour.
I think for
with
me,
2 kids.
the 2 workouts a day is what it
That's
is.
hard.
Like one in the morning, one in the
screw
night?
that.
I think
No.
having kids counts as a workout.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like, I am living my life. That's a workout. And then I'm doing an hour workout on top of it. So anyway, so that is 75 hard, folks, for those of you who are listening. But what I really love about something, Jess, you were talking about, and just SMART goals in general, we work with education groups, we work with corporate and professional groups, and we cover this topic a lot, the idea of SMART goals and kind of the breakdown, even as Megan just gave it to us all in all. And I love it, but I think it is, since we are on the Good Leader podcast, really relevant to challenge yourself in your leadership. Like that's where I've applied it the most, because I am not Jared. I'm not like the biggest goal setter in the world. He is like, I think
either.
goal setting is like an addiction for him. He's like, I gotta be. He is not even here to defend himself on this podcast. Poor Jared. he's gonna have some stuff to say when he gets back.
I'm going to be like, I listened to y'all's episode and I have some things to say.
You're fired.
Never giving it up again. But he is, and he's great at it, and he's great at goal setting, and okay, awesome. Kudos to you. I think where I've had to challenge myself, because I am not, other than 75 hard, I don't have the framework in my personal life, or even maybe desire, like what you're saying, Jess, to want to do some of those like things that maybe aren't relevant to my life. But I think this idea of SMART goals is relevant in any style of leadership, because I often ask myself when I'm leading teams, like, how could I have made that more clear? You're telling me you didn't know that. You're telling me you didn't know that was the goal. You're telling me you didn't know that that was the sales quota. You're telling me you didn't know we were meeting at this time. Like, how could I have possibly made that more clear? Especially, Jess, you and I have to do this a lot, working on projects, project-based. You have a lot of project-based. Almost everything you do is project-based.
Yeah.
It's a pretty annoying project when it's not listed out in more of this SMART framework, right?
Right, for sure.
Hey, Anj, when do you need this by? Great. Well,
It's just
what do you
gonna
want
sit
it?
there until
What do you want it to be?
yeah, or like the specificity of it. Like if you're not giving me the details,
Yeah.
there's just a lot of
Or is it relevant? Like, hey, can you create that flyer just for space camp? Yeah.
What is space
Who's
camp?
having a space camp?
We are having a space camp. I'm just hearing about it.
My friend's having a baby shower tomorrow. Could you go ahead and make me a flyer for that? Yeah, that doesn't feel, super relevant to my actual job.
And I would be lying if I hadn't heard that before, folks.
Not for me.
Who said it?
Not for me.
I digress.
Yeah. But I think that's really important because we'll hear this idea of SMART goals. And I think first we want to sometimes apply it to our personal life. And then others, I think we want to teach it to our teams and apply it there. But for me, it's been one of the biggest challenges in leadership is to kind of overcome the hurdle of am I really being clear with this goal? Am I really being clear with what I'm asking my team to do? We always say clarity is kind, but we forget how hard it is to be clear in a way that people can hear it. And I think SMART goals kind of give us that framework, like what you're saying, Megan, for clarity to be there and be present, but that you're constantly coming back to the accountability of it as well. So I can hear that we want to, like I said earlier, sell $5 million. I hear that. But unless I'm coming back to it weekly, unless I'm measuring it, unless I can see where I fit in that puzzle, it doesn't mean as much to me once the hoopla of all the vision is said and done.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's great stuff. Okay, Megan, you have anything else you want to close out on for SMART goals in this episode?
Oh, I think that's all I have, guys.
That's all you have? Okay, well, before we wrap up and before we tell all of us to go out there and be a good leader, Megan, I just want to know, who's your favorite employee? I'm just kidding.
Nope.
You'll have to come back. Go out there, do your best, be a good leader, make those SMART goals, and we'll catch you next time.